Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mind Over Matter, where you get to hear inspiring stories of grit from female founders and women business and technology leaders from different parts of the world. And today we have with us Tiffany Castagno from the US. Tiffany, thank you very much for being with us here today. And I just wanted to kick us off by asking you how 2020 has turned out for you. What were some of your goals? How do you think you did with them? Just tell us more about it.
Yeah, so I think most of us describe 2020 as the gift that keeps on giving, and not necessarily in the most positive way. And while I'll say that I've definitely experienced some setbacks, I think that for me, it's been a wonderful gift. You and I met in 2020, so you are one of what I call my 2020 gifts. I created a hashtag for it. So definitely grateful for networking and the ability to reach across all over the world in this global network. Haven't been able to do that before. For me, and I think for many, it gives people a lot more flexibility and really having to sit with yourself and having to understand, where's my comfort zone? Am I going to push out of that, and how far? And for me, that was one of my goals for 2020 in many ways. I didn't know that I was going to launch a business in the middle of a pandemic. And that's been a very roller coaster of a ride, but I've been able to help others. And so that's always been part of my goals. As 2020, that's been a goal. I've really been fortunate to help a lot of other businesses through this pandemic with all the uncertainty, helping them build processes and things of that nature. What I learned also is to be more agile. And so I wanted to learn more data science and agile principles. That was a goal of mine for this year. And while I'll say that I did, I think that it's in a different way than maybe I expected. So I became more agile and lean through experiences, meaning that I had to learn done, not perfect. And as a recovering perfectionist, that's one of the things that, I've been working on and that I've had to come out of my goals for. I think that we've had some family health concerns, and just the pandemic can wear on you. 2020 has been difficult overall. And so for me, it's been really being present in the moment, really tapping into, the series is called Mindset Over Matter. For me, that has been my greatest gift. And it's really allowed me to push past some of the pain that I've experienced in 2020, getting through it.
Absolutely. And yes, meeting people like yourself has also been one of the best things that's happened for me in the year 2020, especially LinkedIn. Discovering this rich network via LinkedIn has been fantastic. So Tiffany, what are some of the things that you've learned about yourself during this time, and what are some of the things that you're grateful for?
I'm definitely grateful for my health. I will say that first and foremost. My health when we're in the middle of these turbulent times, and it's very difficult. As I mentioned, we've had some health issues in our family, and I've seen it in my friends and friends of friends being impacted. And so we can't take those things for granted. And while I may have had a few extra snacks, it's something that I'm mindful of, because health is mind, body, and soul. And so I lean into my faith a lot too. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the ability to even have launched a business and to be able to have exposure to so many people that I can not only help but connect with. Those things for me have been just so wonderful. I think in terms of what I learned about myself, I'm definitely more resilient than I realized. I always considered myself pretty confident and resilient. And so the resilience with everything going on, I've definitely stepped that up. Having a very sick dog too, she's teaching me resilience, because everything she's going through, and we're right there by her side. It's taught me business lessons, and that things can be so fickle, and we have to be so open to change and so aware of self. And that's very, very important. I think the other thing that I learned is that while I am confident, that there are still areas where I need to improve, and we all have those. And so I'm learning to believe in myself in different ways, and not being afraid that I get this wonderful new opportunity to speak with someone or to help someone out, and not get the sheer panic that I think sometimes comes with a presentation or something new that we may have desired, but then when it comes, we're like, wait, can I do this? It's kind of that imposter syndrome that we think about sometimes. So those are kind of the things that I've learned, alongside just sometimes I just have to sit in that discomfort. Other times I have to shift my energy, move away from it, take a walk, get music, whatever that looks like. But I am more in touch with myself and my soul than I ever have been. And that is definitely a 2020 gift.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I missed asking you this earlier. Tell us more about CEPHR, your solopreneurship journey.
Yes, so CEPHR is an acronym for Cultivating the Evolution of Professional HR. And I love what I do in human resources. I've been doing it for almost 13 years now, and I help small to medium enterprises build out their infrastructures, their brand, their culture. And that's really fun work because a lot of that is a co-creative process. I have danced in and out of corporate America for many years. I've worked for small to medium enterprises myself. And so I really leverage those best practices and bring it to my smaller clients, whether they don't have a startup or they're a startup and they don't have an HR department, a new founder who needs a thought partner, or as someone I'm working with now calls a wisdom partner. Maybe their HR department just needs a boost. So really I'm there to help scale with them and help them kind of see around those corners that they may not realize so that they don't run into risk.
Thank you. And that sounds like such interesting work.
It is. I love it.
And you talked about being agile and learning about that this year. So my next question to you is, what's the one thing that you think you'll start, stop, and continue doing in 2021?
I think, as a new entrepreneur in the business, when I said you have to sit with yourself and your discomfort and some things that you learn about yourself that maybe you're just like, ooh, I didn't realize that was there, or wow, I really shine here. It's having a laser focus. That for me, I am closing down the last 2 weeks of December to look ahead to 2021, but also looking at, to your question about stopping, what wasn't working or what can I do better? So it's starting even more of a laser focus on my business. What do I want? How do I really help the most people? And that's just that calls my HR heart, and that is what I'm called to do. So balancing that within health and fitness and mind, body, and soul is going to be a laser focus for me, more so than ever, hyper focus. Stop, I will say that sometimes we can hold ourselves back. And so it's not holding myself back from things that may be uncertain for me just because it's uncharted territory. Is what I wanted in entrepreneurship. It's why I love entrepreneurship. So I have to lean into that and I have to stop holding myself back because of fear. I finally launched from my fear in starting my business. And so I don't want to hold myself back in that way. And I want to continue to be bold. I want to continue exploring and having these types of opportunities to connect and to just, opportunities will fall in your lap if you are open to them. And so I want to definitely continue fearlessly leaning into those as well.
That's fantastic. Be bold. That's what I was hearing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So what is your personal definition of grit?
Grit. Now, see, this is not a word that is what people will call, people are saying there's too many isms or buzzwords. Grit, you don't hear that often. And I think that for me, it's that laser focus, it's tenacity, it's the resilience, it's your hustle, your grind, and just, for me, it means doing it till I get it right. And that doesn't mean that I can't still play with it, done not perfect, but it's being the best version of myself and continuously working on that. When I think of grit, the word grind comes to mind because I'm always trying to be a better version of myself.
Fabulous. So in closing, what are your top 2-3 tips for others to practice mind over matter?
Love this title so much. It's being present. It's being present if the situation is not ideal. It's being in touch. A coach I'm working with said to me you have to pay attention to be intentional with the intention. And so that means really leaning into ourselves and knowing what's possible, but you have to be present in order to know that. So I would say to be present, to be intentional, so that you can set your intention towards growth and growing your potential. Not living by other standards. That's another thing that I've learned in 2020. And so I would tell people, live by your own standards, define your own success, because we can all chase LinkedIn as a perfect example, metrics and vanity metrics and this person doing this, but does that define your success? And I would say that you shouldn't let it. And just paying forward with what's been poured into you. That is so important. None of us gets anywhere alone. I talk about that a lot. Together is better. And so the gifts that you've been given in the world, you should really pay those forward and give that back.
Such an inspiring message, Tiffany. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any parting words for those of us that are watching?
I think just thank you for watching and allowing us to impart our thoughts in terms of mind over matter. I think that it's very important to build these networks and build inclusivity through hearing from different voices. And those voices are all over the world now and in the times we're living in. So just be present enough to welcome the gifts that will come your way.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Tiffany, and thank you everyone for watching. Here's wishing everyone a peaceful holiday season and a successful, fruitful 2021. May all of us start practicing mind over matter. Thank you very much.